Hi, this is Miss Diorama. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will show you how to easily make working windows and doors for a miniature 1:24 scale house. The materials I used for this project were 3mm thick MDF, 1.5mm mat board, some heavy cardstock, some clear plastic sheet, a paper clip, glue, and some paint. I cut all the parts for this project using a laser cutter. I began with the doors. These two panels were cut out so that I could miter the edges using a nail file. To put 1:24 scale into perspective, 1 meter would be equal to 41.7 millimeters in metric terms, or 1 foot would be equal to half an inch in imperial terms. If you stick around long enough, I'll show you how I made this same project in O.Scale and another one in H.O.Scale. O.Scale being 1:48 and H.O.Scale being 1:87. Once all of the panels were given angled edges, I glued them back into their respective places in the doors. There are two doors because eventually they will be glued back to back with the window panel sandwiched between them. I'll show you how that's done just a little bit later. Although I haven't shown it here, I decided to paint some of the parts. I usually show the painting of my projects, but this time I'm leaving that bit to your imagination. I also applied the same colour to these cardstock window panels. Once the paint was dry, these panels were glued in place. Now onto the door frame. I first installed the outer architrave. I then applied the door jamb. Notice the tiny hole in this top door jamb piece? This is where the paper clip will come into it. I'll show you how shortly. First, however, I install this inner architrave piece. It will be covered with another piece, but not just yet. And this piece is the doorstep, which I will also install a little later. It too has a tiny hole in it, and you'll see why in a bit. There are other things that need to be done first, including the glass panels for the windows. Using some templates, I cut 3 pieces of clear plastic sheet to size. Of course, there are many ways to do this, but I used a tiny bit of glue to hold the templates in place while cutting my windows out. The glue can then be removed with a damp cloth. I glue a glass panel to one of the window panels, then glue a second window panel to the other side of the glass, thus sandwiching it between the two panels. I dab the glue slightly to remove the excess before attaching the glass panels. I did this with both window panels. I repeated this for the window in the door as well. Here's where the paperclip comes into play. I need 3 pieces of wire about 1 centimetre or half an inch long. This plastic covering on the paperclip is removed. Two pieces of wire are glued into these grooves on the reverse side of the door. Then the 2 door panels are glued together. These pegs clamp the 2 pieces together while the glue dries. Now it's time to paint some other parts that are needed to complete the door. The other parts are so tiny they need to be held in place so they can be painted. These are the door handle parts and the mail slot. I will be using Hoplite Gold from the Army Painter Speed Paint 2.0 range. I will set these aside to allow the paint to dry. Now to install the window. I glue on the upper window panel, followed by the outer frame. This piece is the windowsill. With that done, I can install the moving sash, which will be held in place by the inner window frame and architrave. But for now, I'm only gluing on the window frame. This is because I wanted to paint some details first. Now with the paint dry, I complete the installation of the sash window. I'm careful not to get any glue on this bottom sash window so that it will be able to slide up and down freely. Now it's time to install a door, but first I need to trim these wire hinges down to about 2 mm each. The style of the door needs to be slightly rounded off with a file. Once that's done, some of the details can now be attached, including the mail slot, the trim plate for the door handle, followed by the door handles. I take my time to get these tiny details correct. And that completes the door, which can now be installed. I add glue to the bottom plate where the doorstep will be located. Then the top door hinge is located into the hole in the top door jamb. Then I locate the bottom hinge into the hole in the bottom door jamb and push the jamb into place. The interior door frame can now be attached. That completes this 1:24 scale working window and door. I hope you can join me in the next video to watch while I complete the rest of this miniature house. Meanwhile, stick around to see those HO and O scale working windows and doors that I promised to show you. And that completes this video. If you haven't already, please consider supporting my channel by subscribing, and if you do, be sure to turn on notifications so you won't miss out on any of my future videos. And to everyone who has already subscribed, a big thank you for your support. Bye for now, and I hope to see you in the next video.